If you're interested in opening your Roth IRA with Fidelity, then you are in the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you how to open your Roth IRA with Fidelity, how to make a contribution, and then how to actually invest your money in your Roth IRA. So here I am on fidelity.com. You should be seeing something similar to this. And right away, you'll see a button down here that says open an account. That's what I'm going to click first. And then on this page, you'll see a couple of options. Retirement and IRAs is the first one. That is the one that we're going to click. But if you're interested in a brokerage account, you can also do that here, or an HSA. If you qualify for one, that's also on here. Cash management, 529 college savings plan, etc. But of course, this video is focused on Roth IRA. So underneath retirement and IRAs, I'm going to click the open an account button. And then we don't need to do a rollover IRA unless, of course, you need to. I'm going to assume you are opening a new Roth IRA. So we're not doing traditional. Underneath Roth IRA, I'm going to select open a Roth IRA. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to assume you are not already a Fidelity customer. So once you get to this screen, it's asking, are you already a Fidelity customer? If you are, be sure to click yes. They're going to have you log in, and then you'll open your account under your established login. I actually am already a Fidelity customer. I have my solo 401k with Fidelity, not a Roth IRA. My Roth IRA is actually with Vanguard. I do have a video showing how to open a Roth IRA there and how to contribute, how to invest, etc. But for the purpose of this video, I am just going to pretend I don't have an account, so I'm going to select no. It tells you a couple of things that you'll need. First, you'll need to confirm your identity and employment information. Once the account is open, you'll create a username and password and then begin the process of transferring money into your account. So I'm going to click next, and you'll need to enter in a few details about yourself. Your first name, middle name if you have one, last name, social security, birthday, country of citizenship, your mobile number, your email, where you live, your address, and then you would click next. So unfortunately, I can't show you what comes right after this point, because if I fill all this in, they'll recognize that I have an account and they'll be like, oh, you need to just log in. So once you fill that in, the next step would be to create your username and password. Your account should be established basically immediately. They may also ask you to set up 2FA or multi-factor authentication, which I do recommend doing. That's something I highly recommend for all of your money accounts, for all of your accounts really these days. So go ahead and set that up as well. And then the final thing that may pop up for you to fill out would be your beneficiary. So this is who your money would go to if something were to happen to you, if you were to pass away. So that's another thing. Just go ahead and get that taken care of so you don't have to worry about it later. Of course, that's something that you would want to regularly change if necessary. And then once all those basic account pieces are complete, the next thing you'll want to do is link your bank account or bank accounts if you prefer. And this is where you're going to be pulling money from so that you can contribute to your Roth IRA and then ultimately invest that money. So go ahead and link whichever bank account you prefer to pull money from. And you should be seeing something similar to what I have on the screen now. As I mentioned before, I do not have a Roth IRA with Fidelity, but I do have a solo 401k, so mine might look a little bit different. But as far as the contributions, the transfers, and the investments, it's basically the same thing. So I will walk you through all of that now. The first thing that you'll need to do is transfer some money over to your Roth IRA, and this is going to count as a contribution. So right from your dashboard, you're going to go up to the second tab that says transfer, click into that, and you're going to click this first option, EFT to or from a bank. EFT just means electronic funds transfer. So we're going to click that first one. And from here, you want to select the account that you want to transfer from, where you want to pull money out of. This is going to be the bank account that you just linked. And then next up, you need to select where you're going to be transferring that money to. For you, it will be Roth IRA. Mine's going to say solo 401k, so just ignore that, but pretend it says Roth IRA. Again, mine will look a little bit different because this is a solo 401k, so I have to select like employee and all of that, but you will have somewhere that you need to enter in how much you want to actually contribute or transfer to your Roth IRA. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do a $5 contribution. Down at the bottom, you should be seeing a breakdown of the contribution limit for the year that you're contributing for, how much you've contributed so far to date, and then how much you can contribute for the rest of the year. If this is 2025, the 2025 contribution limit, it should say $7,000 here. And if you're not seeing that, then you kind of want to reset, make sure this is actually your Roth IRA. But once you've entered in the amount amount that you want to transfer and the date, which we're going to assume that's today. Click continue, and then just review the transfer details. Make sure you're pulling from the correct bank account. Make sure you are contributing to your Roth IRA. This should say Roth IRA somewhere, and then it's just saying EFT and the amount. Then you want to go ahead and submit. So we do get confirmation that our transfer was submitted. And if we scroll down to the bottom, you have a couple of options: sign up for alerts, transfer additional money if you want to, manage scheduled transfers, which is something you can do. You can set up auto transfers, but I'm going to go ahead and click exit to portfolio summary so we can actually invest that money. So we are back on our dashboard, and then up at the top on the far left, you should see a box that says trade, and we're going to click that. And this is where we actually invest. So we just contributed to your Roth IRA, but that money is not invested yet. And that's great that you've made a contribution, but now you actually need to invest it. And that is how you are going to see growth in your Roth IRA. You don't want to just leave that money there. When it comes to this first drop down, you really don't have to do anything with it. You can just leave it where it's at, because when you type in what you actually want to purchase, this will adjust automatically. So I'm just going to leave it on stock/ETFs, and you'll see that that will change. We're going to select the account that we want to actually invest our money. And so you will be selecting your Roth IRA. I'm going to select my solo 401k. Once you select your account, you should be seeing however much you just transferred into the account. Now, yes, the transfer does take a couple of days to actually complete, but you can always invest this money immediately. So it's all just happening in the background, and you want to go ahead and initiate that investment request. So I can clearly see that I have $5 available to trade, and I'm going to purchase FXAIX, $5 worth of FXAIX, which is Fidelity's S&P 500 index fund. Hopefully you know what it is that you want to invest in. There are quite a few options, of course. If you're looking for the total stock market within Fidelity, that would be FSKAX. And they even have some index funds that have no expense ratios, no fees with them. So that's something you may want to look into if you're not completely familiar with it. But S&P 500, total stock market, those are great options. But please do your research. This is not investing advice. This is just what I choose to invest in within my Fidelity solo 401k. And you can absolutely purchase this fund with your Roth IRA as well. So I'm going to select this FXAIX, and you'll see that this trade up at the top is going to change. So I'm going to select that, and then automatically you see that change to mutual funds. So it recognized that. I didn't even have to know anything. If you wanted to get more info about a fund, you could click into this and it will take you to the info page. This is telling you how much one share of this index fund costs. Of course, I'm just buying a portion of it because I'm just doing the $5. So from this action drop down, I'm going to select buy. This is just a one-time purchase. You could do buy recurring if you wanted to set up auto investments, but I'm going to do buy. And dollar amount is however much we have available to trade, or however much you want to. I have the $5. Going to click out and then click preview order. And then it's just telling me this trade will be completed at the next available price, because the stock market fluctuates and the stock market is open during certain hours. So this will take place at that next trade. Nothing to stress about. This all will happen in the background. You just want to review everything here. Make sure you have the right account. Make sure it says Roth IRA. You're investing in what you want to. It will give a description. You are buying, the amount, and then the trade type is just cash, because that's what you're pulling from. And then you click place order. And you have just successfully contributed and invested within your Roth IRA. So congratulations. We can now go to view positions. You should get a text message, an email, depending on what you've set up at this point, but you can go to view positions. And that's going to take you to this tab within your account. And then you can see which funds you actually are invested in. If you just invested your money, you may be seeing $0 next to a fund, because that has not processed through yet. So nothing to stress about. It will go through once the market is open and the purchase is complete. You can see I have pending activity of $5. So once the market's open, then that will be done. You can also click over to activity and orders to see what is pending and kind of what's going on with that, in case you want to double check that you made your investment. But if you followed those steps, you should be a-okay. For the Roth IRA in Fidelity, there should be somewhere on the summary page where you're seeing your progress with your Roth IRA contribution. So for example, you can contribute $7,000 for 2025. There should be a progress bar somewhere on here. If you scroll down, it will probably be there, and you can see how much you've contributed, how much you have left for the rest of the year. year. But that is really it. You have opened your Roth IRA, funded it, and invested your money. Now moving forward, just repeat the process. Fidelity makes it super easy. It's all just on that one page, that one pop-up. There are a number of different areas that you can go about initiating a transfer, but that's the simplest way and it's very straightforward. You can also purchase different funds. You don't just have to keep on buying the same index fund or ETF. It is completely up to you. Just be sure to do your own research. But that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. If you found this helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.